Dove brand skincare products were on the brink of obscurity until they hit a case study story that bullseyed and skyrocketed them back into the millions of minds and millions of hearts in America. That's the power of case study storytelling. And I'm going to show you how to come out of nowhere with your best case study story in just a minute. How to get everyone talking about your brand. Hey everyone, this is Canon with Inspirationtomillions. Every hometown has a hometown hero or heroine. These are the citizens who overcame great odds to go on and accomplish great things. Hometown heroes and heroines are the people who stick their necks out to bring goodness to others. They are our firefighters, police officers, mothers, neighbors who donate a new wing to the local hospital. There are journalists, campaigners, and entertainers. When anyone makes a headline for scoring the winning touchdown, inventing a great new solution, or creating something good that brings joy or makes people's lives better, there is a swell of pride, collective pride, and ownership that rises up from the town that person is from. It's a loyalty that begins right at home, right where the heart is, and it rises up and rejoices together every time someone does something good. Imagine if we all thought of Earth as our hometown and we took pride of ownership for all the good deeds done on Earth. What a mind shift. It doesn't matter if we know the good deed doer personally. Say that down nice fast. When reflecting upon our hometown heroes, we feel proud and inspired and hopeful. We want to share their stories as though they were our own. When building a brand like a hometown, the heroes are amongst your ideal individuals, and their amazing stories include your brand. When you give those stories the spotlight, you inspire pride in everyone who is associated with your brand, and you create a desire for new members to join your brand community. Case study stories can increase your online presence by 70%. I just stand up straight for that, 70%. The shareability of a bullseye case study is off the charts. Today I'm going to provide you with the guidelines you will need for selecting the perfect case study using the hero's journey or heroine's journey as mapped out by my Earth hometown hero, Joseph Campbell. The hero's journey, titled by Joseph Campbell, brilliant distillation of every story ever lived, every story ever told. There are 12 stages of the hero's journey, but for you, I simplified it even more for the purpose of selecting the perfect case study story. I highly recommend you employ the hero's journey in all your brand messaging because not only is it your story, it's what the universe is about in every story. The hero's journey connects us all. You see how powerful that can be? In Mr. Campbell's own words, the hero's journey is inside of you. Tear off the veils and open the mystery of yourself through his formula of the hero's journey. Every single one of us is on the hero's journey, and no sooner is one journey complete before the next one begins. I'm sure you have experienced this. The details of our individual journeys are never exactly alike, but is a big but. The emotions we experience when facing an obstacle, challenging our limits, overcoming the odds, are universally relatable. There is a hero and heroine within us all. Tom Hanks, in his numerous character studies, observed that a hero is someone who voluntarily walks into the unknown. Walking into the unknown is exactly what every single one of your customers do, your new customers, in the moment they make their first purchase. It's not an exaggeration. Your ideal individuals are your brand's hometown heroes, and their case study stories can be an inspiration to millions. Let's look at a few brands who have nailed the case study stories. Dove is a skincare brand that was fairly well known, but used to be considered kind of low end. Thought of in the 1990s, Dove was a $200 million brand. Not bad, by my standards, pretty good, but not growing either. Dove's ideal individuals are mainly women, and their marketing team discovered that only 4% of all women consider themselves beautiful. They saw an opportunity. Do you? For a case study. In 2004, Dove launched a campaign for real beauty. In their first case study story, Dove hired a retired forensic artist. This is so cool. The artist remains behind the curtain and asks a series of women to describe themselves, right? The shape of their jawline, the size of their forehead, the curve of their nose. The artist uses the description to draw her face. After the drawing is complete, someone who was asked to get to know her is then brought in and asked to describe the woman the artist just drew. From this new perspective, he creates yet another drawing of her. The two drawings are then presented to these women side by side, where they can see with their own eyes how much more beautiful they appear to others. The end result is a stunning art exhibit that demonstrated these to participants and to all of those who watched the case study, that we are all far more beautiful than we realize. What a wonderful thing for Dove to prove to all of us. What a wonderful branding mantra to put in the air, into the atmosphere, into the hearts of their ideal individuals. We're all more beautiful than we realize. Within the first 2 weeks, there were 35 million views. And as of right now, this case study story has been watched over 68 million times and shared over 3 million times. What does that have to do with lotion or selling skincare products? Not that much. What did it mean for Dove's bottom line? Dove went from hovering around a respectable 200 million for over a decade, however, to a steadily rising to become a $4 billion brand within just a few years. That's the power and the shareability of a bullseye case study story. All women are the heroes in this journey of self-acceptance, and all women are Dove's ideal individuals. It's a perfect fit. Okay, let's go for one that's completely different. GoPro, as you probably know, is a brand that specializes in mountable video recorders. I think I have 3 and counting. They are small, they're waterproof, they're wireless. You can pop them on your head, on your chest, on your bike, on your surfboard, right? And today they're marketed to adventurers of all sorts. But when it was founded in 2002, GoPro was originally marketed exclusively to surfers. In 2014, GoPro released a recording captured by a firefighter. The GoPro is mounted on the firefighter's helmet, and he's searching through the ravages of a smoke-filled home. His headlamp pauses on a tiny figure on the floor. The way it's positioned, it almost looks like a stuffed animal. Leaning in more closely, we see it's the stiff and lifeless body of a tiny kitten. The firefighter, he scoops up the fur baby and takes it outside. We watch him place the tiny oxygen mask on the kitten and palpitate its body gently. After a few moments, we see the tiny paw stretch outward and the kitten lifts its tiny head. The video concludes with the GoPro logo and tagline, "Be a hero." The case study was posted on the GoPro site and gained them millions of views. What did this video have to do with selling GoPros? Not much. It was really showcasing the heroism of the GoPro brand enthusiast. Not the actual stuff, right? The transformation of the user, the emotional experience of the user. It didn't need to mention a word about their products or features. It simply showed how the camera can catch the hero in all of us. What it did mean for GoPro's bottom line? Well, I can tell you this. It's the same year this case study was released, GoPro CEO Mark Woodman was ranked by Forbes as the highest paid CEO of the year at $285 million. Pretty exciting. So let's find your brand hometown heroes and get them the recognition they deserve. As promised, I present you with the hero's journey, how to select the perfect case study. I've narrowed it down to 3 stages, and they are stage 1, the beginning, right? What was the hero's life before they saw your brand? What was the heroine's life like, kind of like in Wizard of Oz, before they went over the rainbow, right? Before they saw your brand. Stage 2, the battle. What challenges stood between the hero or heroine and the victory? What were those challenges and battles that they had to face along the way? We're valuing those vulnerabilities of how far they've come from. And then stage 3, the return. The return is what life is like for our hero now within your brand community. Ever take a trip? Half the fun is the return, right? In stage 1, the beginning, your hero or heroine will often begin as a regular person, or maybe even a bit of a misfit. Odds are often stacked against them in some way that might make the journey more challenging than it typically would be for most people. I mean, in our case study for GoPro, a burning building is a pretty big challenge, right? But the problem they are looking to solve, however, is the shared obstacle faced by many, if not all, of your ideal individuals. The case study in stage 1 should openly and vulnerably discuss what your hero's life was like before finding your brand, and reflect to your ideal individuals that they are at the beginning of their journey too. In stage 2, the battle, this is where the part of the case study is where the heroine finds that courage and transformation happens. Right? At first it looks like something still, then he can make out it's a kitten, and then he says, I can save that kitten. Right? So choose a story that is honest about the struggle that many of your ideal individuals are facing. You don't think that was a struggle for that firefighter to say, hey, I'm going to risk my life for this tiny little kitten? That's overcoming obstacles. That's the battle. That's something we can all identify. It makes you tear up inside. It makes you feel emotional. Emotion is dedication to brand, right? It is transformative. So a case study, it's all about being transparent about that challenge that your hero or heroine is facing and letting them feel the role of your brand and what that role is in the game, in the challenge, in the battle that's helping your hero overcome all obstacles to their own victory, to become a hero. This will telegraph to your ideal individuals that they aren't alone and stir the courage of the hero within themselves. And finally, in stage 3, the return. This is when your case study showcases what life is like now for your hero, now that they've transformed their life with the help of your brand. Choose a story of total transformation that best demonstrates your brand promise being lived out in all its glory. The greater future has materialized for the hero now because they chose your brand, and it can materialize for anyone who has the courage to make that journey too. A hero can be anyone, and what constitutes a hero or a heroine varies greatly depending on what product or service your brand provides. They don't have to rescue a kitten from a burning building to connect with the hero or heroine with your ideal individuals. A heroine can be a mom who makes it to every soccer game, a teacher who stays late to tutor, a gardener who finally got an old tree to give a new fruit. You decide what kind of hero your brand inspires in people. If you are an established brand, I'm sure your products and services have already contributed tremendously to people's lives. And according to Maya Angelou, a hero is any person really intent on making this a better place for all people. Case studies stories are like taking your testimonials and positive reviews and turning them into live action, detailed and emotional live action stories. Brainstorm a list of people from your brand community, including your employees, who have had the most remarkable, interesting experiences of trial ending in victory, and provide them with an incentive to make their story public. If you're just starting out and you don't have a brand community, you can create your own case study by inviting people to participate in an emotional and revealing experience, like Dove did with their case study. Listen carefully to your ideal individuals. Go beyond your products and services. Get down to the heart of what your brand can really help improve someone else's life. That's what the true source of ache beneath that need is to try your brand. They want to be a hero too. When choosing which case study to publish and post, this is the meat of it, right? Use the hero's journey wisely. Map out the exact emotional experience your ideal individuals would want to have with your brand's products and services. Choose a case study that is perfectly mapped to that hero's journey with that personal transformation that's possible specifically with your brand. Pick stories of taking them from sickness to health, from broke to billionaire, from scattered to focused, from apathetic to passionate, from awakened to the hero in us all. Thank you all for making me a part of your hero's journey today. And thank you in advance for all the good your brand has to contribute to the world. To quote Marianne Williamson, love is a hero's journey, and the hero's journey is a noble but difficult path. So remember, for all of us heroes, how important it is when building your brand like a hometown to love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.